Hello and welcome back to TriggerSmart. You guys asked for it, so here's part two. We're back here with Aaron Cerrone, Mid-American Martial Arts. What are we covering today?
Welcome back, guys. We're gonna review those basic knife angles that we did in that first video. Then we're gonna go over some basic combinations, right? Training combinations, just like you would boxing or any other martial art, just training combinations with the blade to help your overall general knifemanship and using the blade in the heaven grip and the earth grip as well.
And just so everyone knows, the more views we see on this kind of stuff, the more interest, the more comments and likes, the more we'll get into the more advanced stuff like disarms and knife versus knife. So make sure you comment down below.
Okay, guys, so in review from the last video, we're just gonna go over the 5 basic strokes that we talked about. I'm gonna have a good stance. Again, I'm keeping the knife close to my body with the tip of the blade, just like a flashlight. My free hand, what we call our checking hand, is in tight, protecting my vitals, and I'm kind of a fencer stance. So my lead leg and my knife hand are forward, my back hand, my free hand is in here protecting my vitals, elbow in tight, knife in tight. Nice and good stance. So now our 5 basic strokes. Our number 1 is our forehand slash, and again, I'm using that nice circular motion, that elliptical motion where the knife comes out, cuts, and comes right back to home. I'm not overextending to expose myself or miss and potentially stumble. I'm out and back in a nice, efficient, fast motion. So number 1, our forehand slash. Number 2, our backhand slash. Number 3, our forehand low line. Number 4, our backhand low line. And number 5, our thrust. And again, that thrust can be any level that I want it to be. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, if we do the earth grip or the downward grip, same thing, knife is in tight. Now I just need to be cognizant of how I have to angle the blade to make sure the cutting edge is forward. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, and then my thrust for angle 5. Okay, now let's do some basic combinations, right? How do we put these angles together? Okay, so we'll just do our first combo, which is a basic L, is what we're going to do. So I'm gonna combine the angle 1 with my angle 3. But instead of coming all the way back, I'm gonna start my angle 1 and then turn it right to the angle 3 and then bring it back. So it's a nice L slash. So a forehand slash followed right back with my low line slash. So picture I'm cutting the jugular area and then coming right across the midline at the same time. Boom. And then I can do just the opposite. My angle 2, back with my angle 4. So a nice bang bang. Okay? L, L, and back. So basic combination. Now you can do just the reverse, right? You can come across and then up if I want to, right? Reverse L, reverse L. Okay, so just a basic combination of combining my angle 1 with my angle 3, my angle 4 with my angle 2. I'm sorry, my angle 2 with my angle 4. Right? So any type of slashing combination that you can come up with that's nice and smooth, and I can just transition to the next angle before I bring it back to home base. Right? Boom, angle. Okay? I can come up and across if I want to. So anything back to home. So I'm always coming out, that same concept of slashing and coming back to home base, but now I'm just getting 2 cuts in before I bring it back. Nice and quick. So if I bring Matt out here real fast, so using Matt as a reference, my first combination, I'm gonna come with this angle 1 and then come right across before I bring it back. Right, so it's a nice fast combination, pop, pop, and I got 2 cuts in pretty quick. 2 cuts in pretty quick. Now, just like the double slash combination, angle 1, angle 3, or angle 2, angle 4, we can do a slash and a thrust combination, which is just the same thing, okay? So I'm gonna do my angle 1 and then come back with a thrust, right? So it's slash thrust, okay? Slash thrust. And again, the thrust can be any level, it could be low, it could be center, it could be high, it can come in, the thrust can come in from this angle. So the angle 1 can be a slash, but it can also be a thrust, right? It's still that same angle in this sector. Okay, so we can do a double slash. I can do a slash thrust, okay? slash thrust, slash thrust, okay? Slash thrust. Any combination, boom. So I can do a double slash, or I can turn that second slash into a thrust. Slash thrust. Slash slash thrust. So now we got 3 going on, okay? My L to a thrust, and then I come back. I can go my L to a high thrust and come back. Okay? Boom. Thrust slash thrust. So now, in using mat again as a structure, I can do my slash, come back with a thrust. This can come back to the ribs, this can come back to the throat, this can come back to the upper armpit, whatever it happens to be, I can come back just to center mass, whatever it is, okay?
I would definitely prefer 2 slashes over a thrust.
A thrust, yeah, especially thrust, depending where you're at, up into the ribs, wherever it happens to be. You can slash and come right back to the throat if you would like, right? So you can slash, slash, and then come back with a thrust. You can slash, slash, thrust, and I'm back. But every time I'm coming out, I'm coming right back to home base, right? So as soon as I finish my combo, I'm coming right back to home base because I don't want this just to hang out here. If the knife is away from my body, it's in motion, which means it should be cutting or thrusting in some form or fashion. It's never just hanging out here, right? So, and even if it hangs out here and he grabs it, you always cut out and you lose the fingers, or he grabs it, you shove through and then release, okay? So the knife is always in motion, right? The only time it's stagnant is when it's back at this home base and I'm at the ready. Anytime it's out and moving, it should be in use.
Now, some of the subscribers, they had a question. So they see when you're actually doing your thrusting and that kind of stuff, you have this hand here and you're kind of moving it around. So what does that do?
So again, this is just what we call our checking hand. In other words, for example, if I thrust and then a punch comes, this hand is my checking hand, okay? Or I cut and check, right? Cut and check the hand, whatever happens to be. It's also my guard and defense, right? So this is back here. So I'm guarding left, guarding right, depending where I'm at. So this is always back, guarding my vitals. The forearm is against my body, right? So defending the center mass, and my hand is defending my neck at all times. So I'm always in here, keeping this nice and tight. This is against my body. I'm never out here like this, because I'm open, I'm always in tight.
So if I were to take the knife, just to show people what he's talking about, so if you protect center mass, so say in the instance I actually do get through, I'm gonna stab his arm instead of his heart, for example.
Ideally.
Yeah,
right?
or lungs, right?
Or if the slash comes, now it's catching my hand, which will suck, right? But it's not a kill shot, right? So the back of my hand, you know, I'm gonna bleed, right? But it's not the kill shot I'm trying to prevent, right? And let's get this out of the way. If the opponent has a knife, you're probably gonna get cut, right? And for whatever reason, if in some crazy world we're in a knife against knife situation, first of all, if you have your sidearm, you should probably pull that if they have a knife. But if all I have is my knife, someone's getting cut, if not both of us, severely. It just is the way it is, unless I decide just to get out of Dodge, which you probably should, to be honest.
That should always be your first choice.
Should always be your first choice anytime a knife comes out or any kind of weapon comes out, because odds are you're going to take damage, right?
Now, one thing I was told by a very wise person, he's a Navy SEAL, trained martial arts, all that kind of stuff his whole life. He was my first instructor ever. He told me, always run unless they can throw their weapon. Because what happened to him is he started running and they had a brick and they hit him in the back of the head and knocked him out.
Yeah.
So
and I think that is by far the exception than the rule. I wonder where his Kevlar helmet was
exactly
at the time. But you know, I would say, and here's the big misnomer too, is like a lot of people think, you know, the operators in our armed forces, you know, they're so skilled in hand-to-hand combat that they want to do that, and that's the last thing they want to do.
And you train some of them.
And I have trained many of them, and that's the last thing they want to do, right? It's they want to use their sidearm, their rifle, right, is their primary, their sidearms are secondary. If those aren't working, they're getting the hell out of Dodge, right? Because anytime we engage in close quarter, especially if there's a weapon involved, somebody, if not everybody's getting hurt, if you even get out of there. It's just the nature of the beast. The knife moves so fast and can cut so deeply and critically. So you're best just to avoid it.
And one thing you have to really pay attention to, so if he has my full attention and we're fighting, he could have buddies behind me, right? And that's a whole different video. That's a whole different part of the series we can cover later on. let us know if you like that as well. Let us know in the comments. But you always have to have situational awareness, even if you're just fighting this one person.
And remember too, your vest is not knife proof, right? Unless I have a complete steel plate, right? They're not knife proof. I mean, they're not shock proof. They're bulletproof, right? That's the big difference, right? The knife can still get in there.
Well, a lot of them are slash proof, but they're not stab proof.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
There you go, guys. There's part 2, just like you asked for. If you want to see part 3 and some more, we might actually start a separate channel, but let us know, because if we get enough views on this channel, we'll just keep things going the way they are. But let us know in the comments, do you want to see part 3 and the rest of this series? So not only does Aaron do Filipino martial arts, but he also does various different styles, including Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Judo, and Muay Thai kickboxing. So we can cover anything within the breadth of that. So let us know.
All right, guys, just keep practicing. Again, the second part I would do is basic combinations. And you can do this if you don't have a person like Matt to practice with. Always practice in the air. And if you have like a heavy bag or a pole or a tree, just so you're making contact and you can feel that contact with the blade and understand your range, that's always a great way to practice.
You could also use like a bob dummy.
Bob dummies are fantastic for that.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.